this is Stephanie with Chubby Girl in the World, and if you're new, thanks so much for joining us today. This channel is about plus size fashion, both high-end, low-end, and everything in between, makeup, and just kind of sort of a mix of all the things that affect us as humans. If you are interested, I do have Sunday Style Guide list play down below. This video is gonna go up very, very late because I slept in way too late and I didn't film anything yesterday like I was supposed to. Do you ever get into that mood where you just like, you know you have to do something, but you just can't do it? And instead I drank wine. So this video is being filmed and going up on being filmed, edited, and uploaded on the same day. So it's gonna be a little bit later than most Sunday Style Guides. Most of the time, these are up by anywhere 8 to 9 Pacific time on Sundays when I am filming. I took months long break for a while to grieve when my mom passed away in January, and I am currently back. So we are trying to film as much as we possibly can and get going. My goal is to have 2 to 3 videos up per week. So after that very long intro, let's get into it. All right, lovelies, let's get into it. We today are talking about Anthropologie's new releases for holiday and a new brand that I discovered. They might have been around for a while, I don't know, but called Wray, W-R-A-Y. We're gonna talk about that last. So if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I am obsessed with the Anthropologie aesthetic. Like, if money were no object, if I was an heiress and I could like scatter off to Paris whenever I wanted to, right? Oh God, the dream. And it was just, money was no object. I could do whatever I wanted. This is my fantasy self. This is the person that I crave to be, where I'm just like, where I just smell rich, you know? That's what this is. So these are going to be ridiculously expensive pieces. Probably worth it though. Every single thing I've ever like touched or felt at Anthropologie has been really well made, and I do like that they do fair trade. They pay people in their supply chain very fairly. There's a reason it's very expensive, and it's good quality, it's ethically made. That costs money, right? It just always does. I am currently wearing a Shein Hello Kitty dress, pictured here, and I don't remember how much this was. I was supposed to do like a Hello Kitty Shein haul. I am also obsessed with Hello Kitty. I am a woman of obsessions. So let's go ahead and just get into this. I will post the pics right here, and then we'll talk about them. Okay, so this first one is an emerald floral print set. So it's the jacket and the pants. It retails for $248. If you don't know, Anthropologie does have plus sizes. Some pieces go up to 3X, some pieces will go all the way up to 4. I have seen, I think one time, they go up to 5X. So if you are someone who is a 4 or 5X, it might be a little bit harder to find something. However, I do think that their sizing is generally pretty, not as generous as Old Navy sizing, but just, I feel like there's a little bit, like if you're in between a 3 and 4X, I feel like you would fit their 3X. So depending on, you know, material and everything else. The reason I love this is, one, I love greens. I'm obsessed with greens. Again, sorry, I keep saying obsessed. I like greens. I really think that this is something that is colorful and beautiful, but also put together. This is something I would wear to work. This is something I would wear to a business meeting. Oh my God, Instagram, leave me alone. And so that's where I really like this. I think this is like first date material. I think this is boardroom material. I think this is very multifunctional. So when you're talking about really expensive things, and especially this is 2 different pieces, so $248, that's like $124 per piece. If you're going to keep this as something that you would really love and you're going to keep this in your wardrobe for years to come, it's more down to like cost per use at that point. And I don't think this is actually a bad deal. Now the initial outlay is, you know, a lot, but I don't think it's a bad deal in this realm. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. This is, oh, again, I love green. This is the Somerset Velvet Maxi dress. They actually have this in different colors. It is sold out in a couple of the colors right now, so hopefully they'll come back in stock. This, I believe, is up to a 3X, but again, when it comes to the dresses and it comes to those things that have maybe a little bit more stretch, I think you can sort of get away if you're in between sizes with a smaller size. I really love this because it's holiday, but it's also like you're gonna wear it into the winter and you can have it for multiple seasons. This is sort of like that classic velvet. It's not really gonna go bad. Not go bad. I mean, dresses don't go bad, but they don't, it's not something where you're gonna look at it and be like, oh, yep, this is an 80s picture. You know what I mean? So and again, when you're getting into cost per use, $180 for a holiday dress, not really that bad. But I do think that you should not purchase anything that's outside of your budget if it's going to like hurt you. But I do think we want to focus on having things that in our wardrobe that are a little bit nicer, a little bit more lasting. You know, you want to stick with classic staple pieces, and I think this is one of those where it will serve you for years to come. So they also have it in black in a mini dress. I actually think this one is the most versatile out of all the dresses we're going to talk about today, especially if you're petite. So if you are plus size and short like me, this is probably not going to hit you above the knee. It's probably going to hit you closer to like at the knee or just below it. So it's going to be more of like a T-length dress on someone like me. If you don't know, I'm 5 feet tall and 240 pounds. I am a size 24, 26 on my bottoms, and the top I can go between a 2 and 3X at this point in my life. So that's been a major change for me since I used to be 375 pounds and I was a 32, both top and bottom, and it was way different shopping. There's unfortunately way more options for me now, and I wish that wasn't true for our super fat friends. That's not a derogatory comment, by the way. That is how we describe people in the community. When you are a size 4, 5, 6X, that is like we call a super fat. I would be called a large fat at this point. So anyway, if you are someone who is a plus size person and short, I think this black velvet mini dress would serve you for years to come, and it's $148. So I do believe that these first ones are not completely out of the ballpark, and I do think that they're really worth it. So you might want to check it out. Again, this isn't sponsored. I don't have any skin in this game. This is just my opinion. Normally, I would not like this. I'm not a huge fan of like puffy sleeves. I usually like the sleeker, the better sort of look. I'm more of like Calvin Klein, all-American, very sleek silhouette aesthetic. That's my thing. I like that. I like angular. But for some reason, this is drawing me in. This is the puff sleeve midi dress in the pink color. And I don't know if it's it's the combination of like the pink and blue that's getting me, or the actual pattern. Like the actual pattern seems like it would just be beautiful in person. And like if you scroll through the pictures on the website and look up close, it is just something that makes it, I don't know, there's just some kind of like je ne sais quoi. There's some kind of thing about it. It's like, it's hitting like fashion, it's hitting like pioneer woman, it's hitting like country. Like totally wearing this with boots would just, I don't know. I just like love this aesthetic, and I don't know why. Am I turning into a country girl? Is that happening? I don't know. I have been listening to a lot of Dolly Parton lately, so that could be it. This, at first I saw this and I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. I have to have this. I'm going to order it. And then I saw it was $70 to $98. It's beautiful. It's embroidered. It's called the Pilcrow Waffle Henley top, and it has this beautiful floral embroidery, and I think it's gorgeous and pretty. But then I'm thinking about, how am I going to take care of this? Is this something that I have to dry clean only? I don't do dry clean only clothes. I don't do that. The only things I have that are dry clean only are things that have been gifted to me, like 3 or 4 Christmases ago, no, even more than that, like I think 5 or 6 Christmases ago, my mom bought me this gorgeous cobalt blue peacoat, and it is dry clean only. I rarely take dry clean only things to the dry cleaner. The only time I do is if they have like stains on them or, you know, whatever. I just don't have time for that. I don't have time for things that are very like high energy to like take care of. I don't. I'm lazy and I don't want to. Although this is very pretty, if you're like me, I would say no. But again, we're talking about if money was no object, I had an assistant and I was, you know, they took care of all of that for me, then I would buy this in every color pattern they have. This, oh my God, this, oh my God. I saw this and I literally audibly gasped. I was like, because it is every Audrey Hepburn, Christian Dior, every beautiful like Hollywood glam aesthetic that I just adore. I love that kind of sort of like vampy 1930s, 1940s, 50s sort of look, right? And this is the tiered v-neck maxi dress. It is $248. Now, I look at this and I'm like, this is what I would wear to a Oscar party. This is what I would wear to the opening premiere. When I finally finish my book and it gets optioned, when I finally finish writing my body positive romance, like dark romance, and it finally gets like optioned, and this is what I'm gonna wear to the premiere. Like this is the thing, right? It's just this gorgeous like golden Hollywood era vibe, and I'm loving every single minute of it. I want this so bad. It took so much, like this is the crazy part of my goblin brain that was like, oh, and I saw the like afterpay thing. I was like, oh, 4 interest-free installments of $62. And I was like, that's not that much. But then I'm like, the rational like part of my brain took over. I'm like, where are you gonna wear this? Like, where would you wear this to? Like, are you gonna wear this to the grocery store? And don't get me wrong, you can. Like, if you wake up and you put on all your jewelry to go to the bodega, go off, sis, go off. That's just not me. Most of the time I'm in jeans, t-shirt, like maybe I have lip gloss and mascara on, right? I do this for like filming and when I feel like it. I really think art should be done when you feel like doing it, when you are passionate about doing it. But I'm not gonna get up and go to the grocery store in this dress, even though I kind of want to. This also kind of caught my eye. It's something that normally wouldn't catch my eye. And so it is a, it's like a bejeweled bralette, and it's like a cropped vest basically with some like crystals on it. They're not Swarovski crystals, I checked, but they are really pretty. And I don't know, there's something about this that I feel like it would liven up any like white button down. It would be something that you could wear. I envision wearing this with like either very like black pants or like houndstooth, or even maybe like a blue shimmer pant, something like that. I think it could work in a lot of different ways, and it is expensive. I think it was like $78. And like, again, it's one of those things where it's going to be worn over something, so it's not going to be terribly, it's not something that's going to get a ton of like wear and tear on it, right? But again, it's one of those things that I suspect, I didn't check, is probably going to have to be dry clean only, because usually when you have those things that are like sewn on, you probably should dry clean them just so that they don't go through the washer, the agitation of a washer, and like fall off, right? You don't want that. And I just don't know if I want to pay $78 for something that I also have to dry clean. It's called the embellished knit bralette. Okay, this is another one of those dresses that I saw and I was just like, oh my gosh. This is the pleated halter midi dress, again, $248. It's kind of like that crossover. The only thing that I would say is I don't love my arms. I don't love my upper arm area because I've totally got like bat wings. So this is something that I probably wouldn't wear right now just because that's an insecurity of mine. But if it's not one for you and you've got the coin, this is gorgeous. This is, again, one of those like Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, like golden age of Hollywood, just absolute like classic stunner pieces. I can't say anything better about it. This one is I don't know if this is a brand inside Anthropologie or if this is just a brand that Anthropologie carries. It's called BHLDN Sanders dress. I don't think it has anything to do with Bernie Sanders because it's $390. It is gorgeous. There's a ton of beadwork in this, and it reminds me of very like 1920s, very like Gatsby inspired, and I love that look. I don't own a ton of that because the beadwork itself is something that is so meticulously done either by machine or by hand. It makes the clothing so expensive. So I don't own a ton of like beaded. I think I own one dress that has like sequins and beading, and I've had it for forever, and it was like more sort of fast fashion. I haven't worn it in a long time. Maybe I'll wear it in like a upcoming party dress videos. I think I have worn it in another party dress video. But anyway, this is another one from that same brand called the Bonnier dress, and it's $595. Again, very classic, like sort of flapper, sort of Gatsby not enabled, inspired. And I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I also love that they chose a model who is, I don't know if this model is technically plus size. Like I think she's more like just mid-size. But this looks amazing on her, and just this color on her is so beautiful. The pearls, the way the light's like catching it, and just, oh, mwah, chef's kiss. I love every single thing about this. I literally like almost upended my iPad. I was like, just like, no. Okay. So that was the Anthropologie section of this video. And so if you were here, I'll put a timestamp down below. Stephanie put a timestamp in so we can talk about the new brand called Wray. It's W-R-A-Y. And it looks like they are an inclusive brand. They have everything from like extra small, looks like up to 6X. Most of their pieces look like they go up to that. And I am really intrigued. And again, this is a fair trade. They design and do everything in New York, but then it is made in Hong Kong with fair trade policies. So I think that that is like the best of both worlds. So that clothing is still expensive, but it's not in the couture like $3,000 a piece range, right? This one here is the long sleeve cutout, and this is not necessarily something that I would particularly wear, just because I don't know that that cutout is very like flattering on me. I feel like a lot of times either the cutout will be so close that you can't tell it's a cutout, or it'll be so like gaping on me that it just kind of looks like loose fabric, you know? Like, I don't know. This one is all of these pieces are anywhere from like, the tops are anywhere from like the $70 to like $100 range, and the dresses are like, I think anywhere from like $198 to like $300 something. So again, this is a much more expensive brand than I normally talk about, but I think that if you're interested in investing in a piece, in a classic piece, then we can talk about this. How do you guys feel about cutouts and like all of that stuff? I would love to know what you think. I think the color on this is beautiful though. This, oh my God, this dress caught my eye because it was called tomatillo. If you don't know what tomatillo is, it is it's basically a green tomato. Tomatillo, anytime you hear eel in Spanish, it's kind of a like a diminutization of something. So like it's a small tomato. If you say gordita, you're talking about like a small fat person or like a chubby person. which is funny that Taco Bell uses that. But anyway, this is called the tomatillo dress, and it is the color of tomatillos, right? And it is just gorgeous. It looks like this sort of, it's called the Josephine dress in tomatillo, and it is just this beautiful ruching. Again, it's a great sort of modern twist on that sort of old Hollywood elegance, right? So you're taking a pattern, that like ruching and that silhouette from that era, and then modernizing it with an up-to-date color. I absolutely love this. It is $288 though, so this is the Alice dress. It looks like it also comes in like a halter and pants as well, this print. And it's like a fruit print. This is really pretty to me. It's like very, it's the, what do they call it? The smocked dress up top. And it's $244, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I just love like how you can wear it regular up here, or you could sort of pull down the sleeves, wear it off the shoulder. This one really caught my eye because I love this pattern, this sort of like French country, very, I find this kind of pattern very elegant and like refined. It's called the Claude dress, and it's pottery floral. Again, this is like smocked top. I'm not always a huge fan of smocked tops unless they're done right. This one is done correctly, where it's just at this at the bust, and it's an empire waist. Sometimes people will make the mistake of creating dresses like this and the smock kind of goes down into the waist, like just beyond. That never looks right. I don't know why. Let me know your thoughts here. This was the Hutton dress in painted pinstripe. I love pinstripes. I love them so much. I love them because they make everything look so put together. They make everything look very, it just looks purposeful, and it looks very, you're pulling everything together. There's no other like accoutrement needed with it. It's just, and especially for a summer dress, this would, I imagine wearing this to the Hamptons, to like one of my 3 houses. That's what I meant. It is $236. This is, again, not something that I would necessarily wear, but I do find it pretty and intriguing. This is the triangle top in parakeet, this beautiful color. I don't know if it's just because I have spent my entire life like trying to hide my tummy. I'm just not someone who's going to wear a crop top like on its own by itself. It's just not, that's just not a me thing. I'm not comfortable doing that. And maybe that's something I should work on, but I think this woman, like I look at this woman, I'm like, she looks gorgeous. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you wear that for yourself then? And the reason is because I would feel too exposed in this, but I think that she looks amazing. And I'm like, yeah, this looks like, this looks like a badass. Like, she looks amazing in this. I love the color. I love it on her. It's just not something I would pick for myself. Do you guys have stuff like that? This, however, I absolutely would wear. I love this sort of like exaggerated collar here in this Novak top in cloud. They have it in white and they have it in, I think, a blue as well. This is $174, and I think that this actually is worth it as a staple piece because you are going to continually wear this with any kind of white button down that you feel good in and can have a little twist, a little thing, like a little bit of charm that you like. I think is well worth it. I am not sure though about the exaggerated cuffs because I'm so short, cuffs like this just kind of end up coming like down on my fingers like this, and I have to like roll it up, and then it kind of loses the entire aesthetic, right? So I'm not sure about that one. This, again, painted pinstripe top. I love this. I want this. It's $174 again. Absolutely love it. Definitely want it. This is called limoncello, and it's so happy and pretty. And like, I used to be someone who was not a fan of yellow, just not. But when I see this and I see the way that, the only thing that would concern me is that it's kind of structured for a bigger chested person. And even though I'm plus size, I'm a B cup. So I'm just like, I'm a 46 like B, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't think I could fill this out. You know, I don't think I could. So I'd probably have to like have it adjusted or like taken in. But I see this and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love every single thing about this, everything down to the buttons, to the way it's structured. I think this is great for my larger chested people. It's fantastic. This one is on sale. It's $98.40 down from $164. So normally I'm not a huge fan of small, tiny, all over prints, but there are some prints that work really, really well. And I think this one is called the Lindsay Top in Ginkgo Scatter. And I feel like this is the kind of print that works really well for dresses, for tops, for everything, just like all over prints, because it is small enough to not be obnoxious, but it is large enough to not be like, oh my God, I'm dizzy. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's some prints that they'll put in plus size clothes that just, it's too large. I feel like every leopard print, anything in plus size fashion, like the print is too large. Like they can't get that mix of just the right sizing. I'm not sure why. I don't know. I think this is really pretty and it is on sale for $107.50. So all right, lovelies, that is all of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. This is my fantasy self, what I would be buying if money were no object. Of course, most of it was anthropology. What would you be buying if money were no object? If you could fill your closet with your dream brands, what would they be? And what like kinds of things would you put in there? Would you do completely like designer only, or would you only wear like street brands? Would you only wear like indie brands, or a mix of the two? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much and have an amazing day. Bye.